That's awesome. Well, we're going to kick things off because we only have 60 minutes and we have a tremendous amount of value to give today. Washington, D.C. Awesome. Some great things going down in Washington over the last couple of weeks with the trigger bill legislation coming through and all that good stuff. So that's great. So we're just going to get right into it because we've only got 60 minutes. If you can't tell, this is a very informal conversation. So just south of the Cheddar Curtain. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Kenny, good to have you here. So we're going to get started. Now, the way that this works in being very informal, ask any questions that you have in the chat. And you can raise your hand, and then we are going to have like a full Q&A session at the end. So we're going to go through the training and then ask any questions as we're going through the training. And then Jen and Francis will help just read the comments out at the end, but then we'll also give you the opportunity to unmute and ask any questions that you have. So thank you for being here. This is a phenomenal investment of your time. And today we're going to show you how to fill your calendar with qualified appointments with referrals. So these are referrals from your past customers or qualified agents or referrals from referral partners or referrals from your deals in process. So that's what today is all about. And we are going to get started. So any questions, hit us in the chat and let's get going. So this is how to close more deals no matter what the market is doing. So I run a podcast, and it sounds a little bit weird to say like I have a podcast, but 49 out of the top 100 loan officers in the nation have been on the podcast. And I asked them, what are you doing in order to generate growth? And I had a conversation yesterday with a gentleman. His name is Ben Cohen, and Ben is the number 4 loan officer in the entire nation. And he increased his volume $204 million in volume just last year. Last year, difficult year for some. Ben went from $349 million in volume to $553 million in volume. So obviously I asked him the question, how did you do it? And the answer was referrals. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to go deeper into why. But if you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, it's loanofficerpodcast.com. You can head on over there and you can subscribe to it. And we have conversations with top producers twice a week. And then you get to listen along and learn how they're growing their businesses. Now, to give you a frame around the context of what I'm going to be teaching you today, I'm going to teach you how to book more qualified appointments in your calendar. And these are referral-based appointments. And nothing that I'm teaching here is an idea or a concept. We have a professional appointment setting department inside Connection Incorporated. It's part of the Loan Officer CRM. So we have people that sit in North America on the phones all day long, and we call past customer databases, past referral partners, qualified agents, and we book appointments. So these are the calls that you should be making yourself, but most are not. And we just make sure that the calls are happening every day consistently. Well, this is the scorecard from one of our appointment setters for last month. She made 2,482 calls, talked to 10% of those people, and had 252 what we call qualified conversations. So if you call an agent, the agent says, "I'm not interested, don't call me." That's not a qualified conversation. It doesn't go on the tracker. These are people that like actually pick up the phone and we have a meaningful conversation with either a past customer who wants an annual mortgage review or who wants to leave a 5-star review or who wants to send a referral, or an agent that is a past referral partner that's ready to come back and have another appointment with you, or a new qualified agent that is like, yes, I would like to meet with a loan officer because of the offer that we've put out there. Well, she booked 177 qualified appointments last month, 40 in a week. This is our Slack channel where we have all of our professional appointment setters. And I took this screenshot yesterday. So yesterday, Kevin made 127 dials, spoke to 8 people and booked 5 appointments. Brian made 130 dials, had 12 conversations, booked 7 appointments. And Cheyenne made 145 dials, talked to 15 people and booked 12 appointments. This happens all day, every day, with each of the concierge agents that we have on the program. The wonderful and talented Jennifer Woodland is also, in the senior level in the concierge department. She's doing that for our business, making the outbound calls, having qualified conversations, and having move forward conversations. So what I'm going to teach you in today's webinar is exactly what we do. So you can take our system, apply it to your mortgage business, and book your own qualified referral apartments. That's the whole point of what we're doing here today. And that's it. So if that's what you're looking to do, more qualified appointments with referrals, you're in the right place. If you're looking for like online lead generation and TikTok videos and how to generate a ton of leads that don't necessarily convert, not the webinar for you. So if you are looking for more qualified appointments, this is going to be a fantastic investment of your time. So we're going to go through 3 key takeaways today: where to get more clients, how to get those clients, and then a system that's going to generate consistent results for you. Because if you do it once and it works, great, you get results once. But if you do it every day and it works, you get up into the right growth with consistency, right? We don't want you on the loan officer roller coaster where you do something and then you stop doing it and then you got to go do the thing again and then it's right. We want you up and to the right, especially with the market that we're going into. So into the meat and potatoes, for lack of a better phrase, where to get more clients. Well, this is an email that was sent out by a gentleman by the name of Mike Delpreet. Wicked smart guy. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. And this was in one of his emails. And the source on this information is Mortgage CX and Stratmore, 2023-2024. How did you find your potential mortgage lender? 87% of mortgage business comes from referrals and past clients. 87%. So if you're looking for success, it's likely that you should focus on where the majority of the actual funded deals are coming from. You will notice that this doesn't say mortgage leads, okay? Because there is a lot more leads that are generated in online marketing and all of these wonderful things. This is actual mortgage business and where it comes from. Here's another very interesting stat. This is the source on this information is the CFPB, right? They did a study and it shows that 77% of mortgage consumers, again, we're not talking about leads, we're talking about funded deals, like the end goal of what we really should be focused on in our mortgage business. 77% of mortgage applications only applied with one lender. That means roughly 77% of mortgage customers do business with the first lender that they have a conversation with, that move forward conversation. So if you take a pre-qualification from somebody, you get a 77% chance that you're going to be the lender that closes that deal if that deal closes and funds, right? So absolutely, we need to be first to the consumer. Now, I have a lot of people that come to me and say, hey, Chris, this is great, but if I'm like, what about all these, like all this news about all these, aggregate deals that are going on and these billion-dollar headlines of all these acquisitions and everything that are going on? I find that a lot of that news can almost like take away your power because you get overwhelmed with all of the information. And we get a lot of information being thrown at us all day long, don't we? Right? And it's specifically in the mortgage business, looking at these companies that seem to have endless amounts of money to acquire all of these data sources and acquisitions and all this wonderful stuff. It's like, they're so big. How can I call a realtor and get a referral relationship? It just seems like the competition is so big. Well, check this out. If you take the largest lender in the nation, currently sitting at the top of the most recent data that I could find using ChatGPT and all of the wonderful data sources that we have, UWM sits at the top, fantastic organization, 7.2%. Rocket Mortgage sits on this list, 5.96%. And then Cross Country, these are all great companies, by the way, 2% market share. JP Morgan Chase, 1.44%. So if you look at the ones where you're like, oh man, they got all the business, right? No, 7%, 5%, 2%. There is so much. The majority of the business is hometown lenders, hometown realtors, dealing with customers, and all you got to do is get the relationship, be the first person to take the pre-approval, right? When we have the data, the overwhelm can go away because we can see where the results actually come from. It comes from referrals. It comes from referral relationships, being the first person that talks to the lender. So what do we need to be focused on every single day in our mortgage business? Success tip number one is to focus on referrals and be the first to have an appointment with them. Is everybody with me? Does that make sense? I just figured if we're going to be talking about booking appointments, we may as well back it up with the data as to why the appointments are so important. Does this make sense? Let me know in the chat and just hit me with a yes or hit me with a thumbs up. Let me know that, hey, my mic is on, and let me know that everything's going okay. John Mai says, amen. Nate says, good stuff. Awesome. Good. Yes. Michael, thank you. Awesome. Makes sense. Good. All right. Oh, my man, Brad. Good to see you here, brother, with the thumbs up. Shaman, great to see you. Okay. All right. So we know why we're focusing on referrals. Now let's talk about how to go get those clients. So this is what I call our referral roadmap. If you've seen our loan officer launch information, we go through this process. We're going to focus on the areas where I feel we have the largest scale and where we can actually help you by making the phone calls for you and actually generating results. So let's do it. If I was to ask you, where do you get the majority of your business from right now? Type it in the chat, right? Let's see what happens inside the chat here. Where do you get the majority of your business from? Oh, Gomathy. What if you're a brand new loan officer? This is for you, man. The next 5 to 6 minutes, and I'll unpack it specifically for you because that's a great question. So where do you get the majority of your business from? Oh, and my man Chris Johnson is here. So awesome. I took the extra E on the name. Past clients, realtor referrals, realtors, referrals, realtors, friends, referrals, past clients, realtors, referrals. Jen, do you see a trend? do you see a trend in the comments of referral partners 98%, past clients, referral partners? Didn't see a single TikTok. Yeah, no. Okay. So the point is, the data shows us that the business comes from referrals. We know it comes from referrals. And yet, if I was to ask you, how many of you have picked up the phone and called your past customer database in the last 30 days? I'm not going to put anybody on the spot. I'm not going to ask you for the feedback in the comments on that one because I already know what the answer is. Over 90% of mortgage lenders have not called their database in the last 30 days. And so we know it's where we get the money from, and yet we're not doing the activity that brings the money in the door. Right? That's the gap. That's why we're here on today's webinar. That's the gap that we need to get in because we need consistent, high quality communication going out to your database in order to generate those referrals. And so that's where we focus on the beginning of the referral pipeline. So to the person in the comments who was like, I'm brand new to the industry, how do I get started with this? Right here at the very beginning of our map, we have centers of influence. So if you were to host a fundraising event or you were to have a wedding, or I don't know your age demographic, but like if you were going to go throw a rager or whatever, like who are the people that know you, like you, trust you, would do business with you just because you're you and they're them and they know you, like you, and trust you, right? These don't have to be past customers. This is your center of influence. These are the people that are in your cell phone. These are the people that are in your Facebook friends list. Those are the people that you need to be calling. And you need to have an effective script, and you need to have something of value to give them. You need to have an offer that you give them. And I'll show you some offers here a little bit later on in the presentation. But basically what you need to do is reach out to those people and say, hey, look, if you're interested in buying, selling, or refinancing your home in the next 6 to 12 months, I've created this free AI tool that you can punch your information into, and it will show you how to save more money, increase your credit score, so that when the time comes for you to do a deal, you're in the best possible situation. Here it is. And oh, by the way, if you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or refinance, please connect me on a 3-way text, and I'll make sure that they get the same great help. I'm in the mortgage business. I appreciate your referrals. Oh, by the way, I got a brand new Google business profile. And if you go over here and leave me a 5-star rating and a review, it would really help me in my career right now. Voila. You're sending those messages out to your center of influence. Now, if you have a CRM, you can load all those people into and automatically send the messages every month. That's even better. But if you're just getting started, that's where you focus. Centers of influence, past customer database. Together, we call that your trusted circle. You can also take your old leads, pre-approvals, people that never really kind of got across the finish line, you can put that into that list, and you want to be marketing to those people as well. The next area of low-hanging fruit, where we can just literally pick up the phone, make calls, get appointments, and get deals, are past referral partners. Typically in the mortgage business, we do business with somebody, and it's almost like we take that relationship for granted. And hard to say this, but that's kind of human nature. We're more focused on the new and the shiny and what's next than we are nurturing the relationships that we have and going super deep with them. People tend to be focused on the new leads, the new widget, the new shiny object. Well, if you go back into your database, those of you that have done business over the last 2 years, which is the majority of the people here, I see some actual like big heavy producers on the call here. Think back over all the deals that you've done over the last 2 years. Get that data from Encompass or wherever it is that you have it, and export the buyer side agent and the sell side agent, and then everybody that you have in your personal mind Rolodex of people that have sent you business but that haven't sent you a deal in the last 30 days. That is a list. It goes into your CRM. You make calls to those people. You give an offer of value to those people to re-engage the conversation, get them to come back and send you more deals. How easy is it to get somebody to send you a deal when they already know you, like you, trust you, have done business with you, and just have kind of fallen off because somebody else called them, or there was just another lender that could help them out on a specific deal, and they just kind of like naturally started sending business that way? That's how you win business too, right? Sometimes it's as simple as picking up the phone, having a conversation, rebooking an appointment, and getting the deal flow back to your side. So past referral partners is a phenomenal opportunity for most of us. Then we've got new qualified referral partners. If there's one thing that you can scale in your mortgage business to dramatically impact your income in the next 12 months, this is it. Because there's far more qualified agents out there than we can handle as an individual mortgage company, right? There's more opportunity out there. Even in the current market, there are producers that are producing, that are open to sending business to you. So you need a qualified agent list. You need offers to give to those people to get them to book an appointment with you. And then you need a solid follow-up sequence in order to get those people to send you the first deal so that you can earn the business through your process and your transaction in your mortgage business. And I'm actually going to show you here on today's presentation where to get the qualified list, what to send them, how to follow up with them, and how the entire process can be automated inside a CRM. And then our final opportunity here is leads and alerts. So I'll give you a little spoiler. Okay. We have 7. No, we need the thumb. Okay, 7. We have 7 offers that we give to top producing real estate agents. So these are the agents that are doing at least 8 buy-side transactions in the last 12 months. We know that there's 7 major pain points that those real estate agents have, and we have 7 different offers that offer to solve those pain points, right? One of those major pain points is they're paying for leads, they're getting leads, but they're not actively following up on them. They're investing money in lead gen, but they're not following up. They're not making the phone calls, they're not sending the text messages, they're not working the leads. So one of the offers that we give to these qualified referral partners is, hey, give me your old, cold, dead leads. I will turn them into pre-approvals and refer them back to you. Does that sound fair? Well, we know from working leads that they're really not ready to move forward in the buying process, a lot of them for 90 days. So the real estate agent thinks that the leads are cold and bad when we know they're just percolating. It's like a sprout coming up in a garden. It takes 90 days until it's ready to bloom. And you're there at the 90-day mark to take applications from those people and refer them back to the realtors. Well, those leads, you can get them for free from the real estate agents, convert them inside the CRM, and refer them back to the realtor. But this also is phone calls that come in from your Google business profile, your old leads that you've let potentially slip off of an automated follow-up sequence. So there's leads that you can get from the real estate agents. You use that to win the relationships with the real estate agents, and then alerts. So think of these like most of you will have or be working with a company that has some type of platform that will alert you when somebody's gone and got their credit pulled, or there's enough equity in their home that a refinance makes sense, or their credit score gets to a point where making a move with their finances makes sense. Well, those alerts, oftentimes, nobody actions the alert. Well, if you make those phone calls, again, it's low-hanging fruit that's sitting in your business. So if we look at our referral roadmap, these are the areas of low-hanging fruit. Nowhere did we talk about running leads or anything like that. So we're just going after the low-hanging fruit. And I'd like to know in the comments, like, hit me with a yes if you walk through one of those pathways and you're like, yep, if I did that and I picked up the phone and I made the phone calls, I would get more business. It would make sense that one of those pathways is sitting there as an opportunity for me. So Steven says, absolutely. Absolutely. Joseph, Kim, Mike, Shaman. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. So to answer the scripts, so yes, we are fully scripted. And then I'll show you in one of the sequences, one of the scripts that we're using to do the offerings. So I'll show you those in just that second. So we got Michael says yes, or Veta says yes. Okay, right. So we got low-hanging fruit if we just made the calls, right? Well, here are the actions that you need to take in order to take advantage of those different opportunities. So now we know where the referrals are sitting in the business. Now, how do we go get them? Well, we need to make calls. And I can tell you from running the concierge department and seeing sequences of workflows inside our CRM that are going out with just like emails and text messages, and we see them running, right? And then we add phone calls on top. We basically double the amount of appointments that come from that grouping of people by simply adding phone calls to them. So if you're expecting automation in order to generate those appointments, whatever results you're getting right now, it's reasonable to expect that if you started calling the people in that list, you would double the results that you're getting from it right now. Right? Not an income claim, but tends to be what we've seen with us making the phone calls. So calls are first, then text, then email, then voicemail. And then if you want to get like super ninja and advanced, then you put them in a custom audience on Facebook and you start showing them Facebook ads, because you can run Facebook ads to just your past customers and just qualified agents on Facebook, so that they're seeing your ads, so that when you're making your calls and sending your emails, they're more likely to respond because you're staying in front of them on social media as well. So you got to have outbound communication, and it has to be consistent going all the time. Then you have to have offers for these people. And the reason why I say this is because we know that they've got different pain points. And when you give different offers over time, their pain points are shifting and changing. Their business is evolving. They're changing. The market is changing. And so when you give the right offer at the right time, they go, yep, that's the one. I'm going to reach back out to Brad because Brad has the lead conversion, or he's got the he'll help me market to my database program, or he has the quick close testimonials that he's been sending out, right? The different offers that you give over time gives you the ability to stay in front of them long enough that they eventually run into a pain point with a deal where they're looking for a second opinion and you're the lender that's kept in touch, or they're just ready to move relationships and they're open to the offer that you have and they convert. You have to stay in front of them long term. It's not just like I made a phone call, they said they're not interested, or they have 3 lenders and then I go away. You got to stay in front of them long enough that they have a pain point where you're the next second option. And then you have to have quality offers that actually speak to solving the pain points that they have. So we got to stay in touch with them. We got to give them good offers. And then when they respond back to you, you have to pick up the phone in real time. Nobody goes to voicemail. That's just like a new rule in your mortgage business from this point forward, because we saw at the beginning of the presentation, the majority of the deals are done with the first lender that actually has the conversation. Well, that's the same with the qualified real estate agent. If you're reaching out to a qualified real estate agent, you're making your outbound calls and you're focused on making the calls, and then they call you back and nobody picks up the phone. They're like, well, what's going to happen if I refer a customer to this mortgage lender? People are going to have to wait for service. That's not the type of service that I want my clients to get. So you have to make sure that artificial intelligence is answering your phone, or at the very least, it sees that a phone call comes in and text messages that person back right away. Hey, sorry, I'm on the other line. How can I help you? because engaging them in a text message conversation, even though it's totally automated and you're not actually doing anything, the technology does it, they feel like, oh, hey, I'm handled. This is a great experience. I'm comfortable with this. And you win the deal. Because if it goes to voicemail and your voicemail's full, we all know, we've been there. But if they make a call and it's 2-3 hours until somebody gets back to them, again, we've missed that conversion window to really set a great expectation moving forward with the relationship. And then the final part to the actions that you have to have in place in order to get the most appointments and results from those appointments is you have to have follow-up funnels. Once you have somebody that reaches back out to you, you've got to have ongoing follow-up. Once you book an appointment with somebody, there has to be ongoing follow-up. Once you have that great first coffee meeting or coffee appointment or first meeting that you have with the agent, that's not a referral yet. You need a follow-up funnel to consistently reach out to that person and build the relationship until you get the deal. Then when you get the deal from somebody, you process them. Once the deal closes, you need a follow-up funnel so that they don't fall out the back end and start sending referrals to somebody else. And then they end up in the other campaign where you're going to get your past referral partners. So if you put these 4 things in place in your mortgage business, you're ahead of 90% of your competition, and it runs consistently. So now we look at the actual planning to this. So how do we go from the concept of what we have to the actual implementation of it? Well, your database needs to hear from you monthly. Now, we believe in quarterly phone calls, right? 4 times a year, you call the database, but they should be getting email marketing with a valuable offer once a month and a quick check-in text. Hey, I sent you some value. Did you get it? Do you have any questions? Anybody you know looking to buy, sell, or refinance? It is the consistency of the quality of information and asking for referrals that increases the referrals from the past customer database and make sure you get as much repeat business as possible. It also helps with more 5-star ratings and reviews and referrals to other referral partners, which many of our friends here know. Next is partners. So these are past referral partners, new referral partners that you want a relationship, new qualified agents. You need to be reaching out to them weekly. So every week they get a valuable email from you with something that they can learn or an offer. And then as many as you can, you are making weekly calls using a power dialer to reach out and book appointments so that you can have move forward conversations with them. And then leads need to be dealt with instantly. So whether it's a trigger or it's a new lead that's come in from a realtor referral partner or a referral that you get from a referral partner, those conversations need to happen instantly. They hit the form or they get referred to you, and there's an immediate follow-up sequence that goes back to those people in order to convert them. So that's the cadence and how to start planning for actually following up. Everybody with me? Everybody makes sense? Give me a yes in the comments. Let me know that this is helpful and that everything is making sense. Yes. Yes. Michael, thank you. Pamela, looking good. Steven says yes. Joseph says yes. Priceless. Awesome. Bob, awesome. Fantastic. Okay, great. And we are going to get to Q&A, and we are going to run through this next part really, really quick. But this brings us to the big problem. I think everybody here on the presentation knows that this works. If we were to pick up the phone and we were to make, quarterly calls and at least a weekly email sequence to our past customer database, we would get more referrals, right? If we had a qualified agent list and our past referral partners and we re-engaged them with phone calls and a marketing funnel, we would get more referral relationships, therefore more referrals. And if we were taking advantage of the new leads that we have and all that wonderful stuff, we would get more opportunities that we could share with our realtors. And it's this big wheel, right? The problem is the work doesn't get done consistently, right? Many of us are good for a week. Many of us are, or I should say fewer of us are good for a quarter, and it's somewhat rare that everybody stays consistent over a long period of time. And that's what creates the roller coaster in the mortgage business. We do the activities, we get the results, we get the deals, but then we have to focus on actually processing the deals. So we stop doing the activity that brought the opportunities in the door. And while we're processing all the loans, we stop doing the prospecting. So we go back down, our pipeline dries up. Then we start doing the activity again, our pipeline builds up, and we go on this roller coaster. So what we want is up and to the right consistency. And that comes from having somebody else that's supporting your business and making the calls for you, because it is not your fault. That is the business that we are in. When you have a client who's making the largest financial decision of their life and they have questions, you need to be there in real time in order to help your clients and have a process to help those people. And so it's completely natural. So the idea here is that the activity at the very, very top of the funnel that generates the results happens consistently all of the time, 5 days a week, whether you're sick, whether you're spending time with your kids, whether you're processing more applications, whether you're out for lunch for realtors or you're teaching realtor classes or whatever it is that you're out doing. Every day there's phone calls that are going out. Every day there's funnels that are being run. Every day there are opportunities that are being managed inside your CRM so that you just get appointments with people that want to talk to you, that show up to the appointments, that actually move forward. Qualified opportunities being booked into your appointments, into your calendar. And that's what our Loan Officer Appointments program is. You may have heard this as the concierge program or our professional appointment setting program. What this is the evolution of the Loan Officer AI CRM. We have many, many loan officers that come to us that get the systems and they're like, can I just have somebody manage the CRM for me? Or could I just have somebody make the calls for me while I'm doing XYZ, right? And so for our higher tier clients, we started testing. Hey, what would it look like if we had a North American based person that made the phone calls, that followed the scripts, that ran the CRM, and actually managed the AI and all of the conversations that happen inside the CRM to book appointments? And I got to tell you, it's pretty cool. I just got off the phone with Frank Garay. And if you don't know who Frank is, you should be on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club in the morning. He's absolutely amazing. I literally just got off the phone with him because he likes to call me about 6 minutes before I go live on presentations. I don't know how he does it, but consistently he's able to do that. And on his calendar tomorrow, he has 4 qualified agent appointments that we booked for him in his calendar. And it's just a result of us making the calls. So I'm going to give you this phone number. Don't do anything yet. You can queue it up in your phone. So go to your text messages and it'll say 2. And so you punch in this number 1-704-635-6076. Okay. But don't text it yet. Don't text a message yet. Imagine that you are running the power dialer inside your CRM. So let's take the example of calling qualified real estate agents, right? So we know we're going to make these calls to our database and to our centers of influence and our past referral partners, everything that we've talked about now. But for this to conceptually get around how each of these funnels works, we're just going to talk about reaching out to qualified real estate referral agents that you don't have a relationship with. So you're on the power dialer, you're making the calls, you're burning through the power dialer. You've got the qualified agent list. It's making the phone calls out to those agents. The majority of those agents don't pick up the phone, right? What happens? You call, the power dialer goes, and you leave a compelling voicemail using a script. And the way that we do it is we have you record the ringless voicemail once, and then it's our concierge making the call. But when they don't connect with the real estate agent, they got a real-time call, but then we click the button and it inserts your voice and your voicemail in their voicemail box. You're giving an offer to that qualified agent. So the qualified agent is busy. They look at their phone and they're like, oh yeah, hey, I would like somebody to work my leads for me, or I would like to be on the podcast, or I would like a lender to help me work my past customer database. That sounds cool. What do? They text back the phone number. Hey, it's Bob. I got your message. I'd like to book an appointment, right? I'm interested in chatting with you. Okay. Or you're calling past customers and the past customer is like, yes, I would like an annual mortgage review. I'd like to book an appointment. They text back the phone number. The majority of conversations are phone call driven, text message finished. It's like grass-fed beef, grain finished. Anyways. And so we start with the phone calls, because that's what generates the most amount of activity. But a lot of the appointments and the conversations that book the appointment are people that are texting back. And then the concierge says, hey, we were in a text message conversation. Then they call them back again. They get them on the phone, and then they book the appointment. So this number that you're about to text is our internal artificial intelligence that will have a conversation with you as though you are a past customer reaching back out saying, hey, yes, I would like to book an appointment for an annual mortgage review. Or a qualified agent says, yes, I would like to book an appointment. So you can say anything to the AI. Please be polite, right? But you can just say, hi, or I'd like to book an annual mortgage review, or I'd like to book an appointment to be on your podcast. And I have no idea what the conversations are going to be because it's artificial intelligence in the background inside the CRM actually having the conversations. So text hello, I'd like to book an appointment to 704 635 6076. Imagining that you've called a qualified agent, they've seen that phone number, they've texted back, and the AI is now having the conversation, knowing that a concierge is actually going to pick that up and finish that conversation for you. Now, what I'm going to do is while you're doing that and you're going through that experience, I'm going to show you the magic behind the scenes, because there is no magic. It's actually just a system that we've built inside the CRM, and it's ChatGPT that runs the whole thing. So when ChatGPT gets better, our conversations get better, but it's incredible at actually booking the appointments. So what you're actually interacting with is the technology inside our CRM that we call the conversation AI. And so this is what you're talking to. So in here, I'm inside the loan officer CRM. If you want information on it, go to loanofficercrm.ai. If you're not already a customer, can't recommend it enough. It's what we use to run our concierge service. So inside this bot, I'm going to click on edit, and you can see that this customer support bot is on autopilot. So the AI is allowed to respond to all the messages, and it can respond to messages via text, live chat on your website, a chat widget, which you can put anywhere, and it can also reply to your messages on Facebook and Instagram. I've got this thing set up to wait 3 seconds before it responds back to you. And then it's set to a maximum amount of messages back and forth of 15. So if you get to 15 messages back and forth with the bot, it'll shut off because it's just a demo, right? But here's where it gets really, really interesting. Inside the bot training, we've given it all of these documents. So under these uploaded links, you can see all of these conversation guidelines that we've given it. We've given it the USDA guidelines, the VA guidelines, the FHA guidelines, the FHA loan requirements, the Fannie Mae selling guide, the Freddie Mac selling guide, and our conversation prompts on how to effectively have a conversation with a past customer and book an annual mortgage review, and how to have a conversation with a qualified agent that's responded to one of the 7 offers, and the AI knows what the offers are and can have the conversation about the specific offer that the real estate agent puts back. And it's all designed to book an appointment on your calendar. So when we go down here, we can see all of the conversations that people have had with this bot while we've been testing it. So when I have a conversation that comes in, and it says, what's the highest I can get pre-approved for? Somebody asked that question to the bot. The bot responded back, and it was a great response. But if I wanted to change the way that the bot answered that question the next time, I can just click on this little pencil icon, change what the message is, hit save, and the AI will always respond to that type of question the way that I have scripted it to respond back to the answer. And then you just simply put save. So you can see here's all of the Q&A. So as you build this thing with your concierge is building your AI and helping to answer questions for you of your past customers, past referral partners, new referral relationships. And then when we go to the actual goals of the bot, you can see, and we set all this up for you. So you don't have to do any of the prompt writing and the prompt engineering and the stacking and all that stuff. We do it all for you. It's all pre-built in here. And then we just have it set to appointment booking. And then we can trigger a workflow. But if somebody books an appointment inside the CRM, it's automatically going to follow up with them on the date and time that they've booked an appointment and remind them to show up for the appointment. But it's also going to remind you, as the person who owns the CRM, that you've got an appointment, and it's going to book the appointment and remind you to show up at the date and time. So you and your client or your qualified agent show up at the right place at the right time, and you actually have that appointment. So it gets a higher show up ratio because you're being notified of the appointment. So this is designed to book appointments for you. So, and then in the dashboard, you can see the conversations that we're having with it. So we can see here, there's roughly 25 people right now actively having a conversation with the bot. And this will update, and you can actually see, if we go over here, and Francis always gets nervous. I can see Francis is fidgeting here, because if we go into our conversations inside the snapshot here, so we can see here, hello, I'd like to book an appointment. We have several slots available. Picked one, and that is going through and actually booking the appointment. So you can see there, I didn't touch anything. The AI is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the point. The AI is having the conversations. The AI is booking the appointments. Well, in our world, there's a concierge that's getting an alert that this conversation is happening. They're coming into the account and they're calling this person to take over from the AI and actually qualify the lead and then book them on the calendar. Now, look at this. That date got booked. So here it was available, and then somebody else took that slot, and it said, oh, sorry, that slot's now taken because somebody else here on the webinar took the slot, and it's going to go ahead and offer a different time to get that appointment booked. And if you're booking an appointment, you're actually booking an appointment with Jen or somebody else from our team where you can get more details on the concierge. So if you want to keep the appointment, it's actually a sales appointment for the concierge. And it's like a discovery call. It's not a sales appointment. We don't do the high pressure sales thing. So that is the demo of the conversation and how the conversation AI is going. Now, what I want to show you is how we generate the majority of the conversations. And again, we're just going to talk about qualified agents for a moment here. Okay. So again, we do this for past customers, past referral partners, everything, all the pathways that we talked about at the beginning of the webinar. But what I want to show you here is just the qualified agents. So just this one opportunity out of the 4 that we have. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see we have this menu called Qualified Partner Lists. You can click on there, pick an area, and tell it, get me all of the real estate agents that have 8 or more buy-side transactions in the last 12 months, and it's going to spit out a list of all those real estate agents and show you all their production volume, what lenders they're currently sending their business to, all the data for each of them. But you select all those agents, all the qualified agents, and you hit import to the loan officer CRM, and it will import their name, their phone number, their email address, and the production volume into the CRM and automatically put them into this workflow. This workflow is specifically designed to get you appointments with qualified real estate partners. And you can see we have launches for all of the different things that I talked about. This one's for your database. This one's for past referral partners. This one's for qualified real estate agents. This one's for your deals in process. This one's for your borrowers. This one's for your leads. We have these all built for you. Text messages are written, emails are written, workflow is written, AI that has the conversation with that specific person, already trained, already prompted, already ready to go. So when I click here on Launch 3 Qualified Real Estate Agent, it's going to open up this architected process that runs for an entire year. And all you've done is gone into the tool, picked your qualified agents, hit import, and they've automatically gone into this workflow. Well, inside this workflow, it assigns them to you. It creates an opportunity tracker so that you can see, here's all the people that came in. Here's how many I've had conversations with. Here's how many were not interested. Here's how many booked an appointment. Here's how many showed up. Here's how many I have relationships with. So over time, you can track the results of the relationships and the referrals that you've actually generated from the appointment booking. And then you can see here, it adds them to the power dialer. So your professional appointment setter selects the list based on the criteria that you gave them, adds them to the workflow, has the contacts loaded to the power dialer. They just show up in your account, they hit the dial button, and they start dialing. If people don't pick up the phone, a voicemail that's recorded in your voice gets left. And if they respond back, the AI has either the email or the text messaging conversation, or AI can pick up the phone. And as soon as that action happens, as soon as somebody responds back in from our outbound communication, the concierge is notified. They pick up the phone and they call that person, and they take it from a text message or an email or a phone conversation into a real conversation. They vet the person and they book them on your calendar. Now you can see here, email number 1 goes out. If they respond back to it, the AI takes over and has a conversation and then sends that conversation to you so that you can approve it. If they don't respond, it sends them another email, right? If they respond, AI takes over. If they don't respond, it sends them another email a week later. And this sequence is a year long with 1 email a week. And every month, there's a different offer. And each offer is specifically designed to solve a pain point of a qualified real estate agent so that you get referrals. Same thing with your database. Every month, we focus on a different topic that they should know about now that they're a homeowner. Talking to a financial planner, talking to an insurance advisor and bundling their insurance, saving money on insurance, talking to a tax planner, talking to an accountant, talking to a home renovation contractor, right? Every single month, the marketing that goes out to your past customer database provides value through education, but then opens up, hey, if you want to talk to a financial planner or an insurance agent or insert referral partner here, my network is your network. Reach out. I'm happy to make a connection for you. So you provide value to your database, you ask for the business, and you get people reaching out to you saying, hey, I'd like a referral to a new referral partner that you want to set a relationship up with that's not a real estate agent. All of these other referral partners that you can set up. So we're getting results from your database every single month by focusing on a different topic. So you can see how we've taken the same structure and applied it to your database, past referral partners, new referral relationships, and the whole thing is automated when you've got the right contacts inside the system. Now, that is a lot to unpack. That is a lot to wrap your head around. But if you had a light bulb moment, if you were like, whoa, that's cool, hit me in with a yes in the comments. Just like, yes, valuable, hit thumbs up, whatever it is, working good. Okay. All right. Now, what I'd like to do is share with you very briefly about loan officer appointments. So this is a program that is almost at capacity, and you have to apply to work with our appointment setting program. We have some very light yet important requirements for you and your business. But before we talk about that, it's important that you understand what it is. So first off, we're going to work with you one-on-one in order to get your contacts organized. We find the number one thing that's robbing most loan officers of money is they don't actually have their database properly organized, properly tagged, properly organized inside a CRM so that when something happens and they need to send a message, they can't, because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'd love to send a message to my database, but that means I've got to go do 4 hours of spreadsheets and tagging and inserting and finding where these people are. We sit down with you and we take you through our proven process for making that simple and easy and properly organizing all of your contacts inside the CRM. So they're all tagged properly. They're all in their own lists. And it's just nice, clean, organized data. And we do it with you. So we get your contacts organized. Then we launch your CRM and your funnel for you. So this is quite literally our team working with you to set your CRM up for you. So they're in there clicking the buttons and you're on a Zoom with them. they're teaching you, but they're the ones that are doing the work and actually clicking the buttons and setting up the CRM for you, along with the funnels. So you pick which funnel you want to launch first. They get it all built out for you, and you're basically watching as they're teaching you while they build it. Then we handle all your calls and the responses that come back into the CRM. So we make the outbound phone calls. And then when people are responding back, we have the AI helping with the conversation. So everybody gets real-time responses. And then the concierge is being notified that that conversation is happening. They're jumping in, qualifying that person, and then booking them on your calendar. And that fills your calendar for you. And then if somebody doesn't show up to an appointment, you let us know by tagging them or moving them in the success tracker to did not show up for an appointment. And we will automatically follow up with that person and get them rebooked in your calendar because they're busy, qualified agents. And it's normal for the top producers to sometimes miss an appointment with you. They're not saying no, they're just saying, I'm busy. So we just need to follow up with them, get them on the calendar again, right? Well, we don't drop that opportunity. We follow back up for you. We get them rebooked in your calendar. Our goal is 3 qualified appointments a week. Sometimes it's 2, right? Sometimes it's 5. It just is what it is, right? It's not a consistent thing. It's appointment setting. But we aim for those 3 qualified appointments a week, which gets us to about 12 appointments a month. Well, if you have a 33% win rate, and I say win rate because this could be a past customer who wants to submit an application because they're buying something new. Like we've got a customer who's come back to you as a result of the calls, or they want an annual mortgage review, right? Or a refinance opportunity, or they've sent you a referral and that referral has booked on your calendar to take a pre-qualification, but it could also be a qualified agent. And the qualified agent relationship is, hey, I need to have this appointment with this person and then get referrals from them. So if you win 33% of the appointments, right? That's 4 wins a month from just 3 appointments, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Can you do 3 appointments a week, right? Well, if you've got about a 33% win rate, that puts you at about 4 wins a month. If we do the math and we say, okay, we're just going to look at qualified agents, that would be a grand total. If we've got 4 wins a month times 12, it's 48 wins. We're going to assume 8 of them are going to fall off and we get just 40. Well, if you get 40 qualified agents sending you 4 deals a year, it's 160 deals a year. If you're making an average of $3,000 a commission, that's $480,000 in commission. Not an income claim, right? But if you're looking for results in a deal to come across the line in 30 days, A, this isn't the program for you, but B, it's important for you to understand the mentality of the mortgage business and that we run in 90-day cycles. The activities and the calls that you make today are going to show up in the business in 90 days. It is a 90-day cyclical business because it's real estate, right? We're tied to real estate. Obviously, refis are a little bit different, but we want purchase business. We want strong, healthy referral purchase pipelines, right? So if we look at a year, it's a massive opportunity. If we look at it in 30 days, there's 0. Nothing is going to happen in the first 30 days. You're not going to close the first day, probably 60 days. You're not going to close a loan. You might not even have a loan in the pipeline in the first 60 days. But if you look at it over a year, the opportunity could be incredible. So you have to imagine a scenario for you specifically, because here on the presentation, I don't know your business. I don't know your market. I don't know how many people you have in your past customer database. I don't know, do you want to work with qualified real estate agents? Do you have past referral partner relationships? Like you have to take, the reason why I do the math is so that you can wrap your head around, okay, what's my specific unique opportunity for having somebody book appointments for me? Because this isn't right for everyone, right? If I'm being completely candid, this is probably not right for most, right? But if you're closing 4 loans a month and you're at that point where you're like, I can't make more of these calls myself, or I refuse to make the calls myself and I'm just letting the low-hanging fruit die on the vine, then fantastic opportunity. But if you're newer to the business, it's time for you to make the calls, for you to do the consistency, and for you to take what you've got in the webinar today, apply it, and generate your own results, right? Those are, if the loan officer CRM is a perfect tool in order for you to do it yourself. For those of you that want kind of like a managed solution so that you can go from 4 loans to 8 and then 8 and beyond, it's a team that comes behind you that creates the consistency that goes up and to the right. So look at your opportunity specifically and determine whether or not you feel that's a right fit for you. So what you get is one-on-one CRM and AI setup. We do it all with you. You get daily calls going out on your account and conversations. We handle the conversations every day. We're out there helping grow your business with you. We give you the qualified agent list and all the qualified agent data, and you get a dedicated North American concierge. So this is not a team of people overseas that are making a whole bunch of calls and upsetting people. This is North American people that are trained on having deep, meaningful relationship conversations. And they don't book a ton of appointments when compared to like a call shop, but that's because we have deep, meaningful conversations with high value contacts. These are your past customers. These are past referral partners. These are qualified real estate agents. You have to have somebody that matches your level of professionalism on the other end of that phone to greet that person into your business and set the expectation for what it's going to be. So you always work with the same person. That person is based in North America and they're making their calls for you, but they are trained. And almost most importantly, they are held accountable by us. And we're running the systems. We know what works, and you're plugging into our proven system in order to get that done. So if you would like to apply to join our professional appointment setting services, you can do that by going to aimortgagedeals.com. That's aimortgagedeals.com. And then the other thing that you can do is you can just open up the camera on your phone. And then that camera, if you just scan that QR code that's right there on the screen, there'll be like a little yellow box that pops up and it'll say aimortgagedeals.com on it. If you click that, that's going to take you over to a broken link for me anyway, but that might be my cookies. So for you, what you're going to see is you're going to see a calendar link, and you're going to be able to click that calendar link, find a time that works for you, and book with our team. Jennifer, if you're having anybody in the comments that's having trouble with that, just put the calendar link in the comments so that people can. Awesome. Okay, cool. So who this is for and who it's not for, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So if you want more referrals, I think this is a great opportunity for us. If you want more referral partners and you want to work with qualified real estate agents, this is absolutely for you. If you don't want to work with realtors, probably not a good fit. If you're willing to follow up on appointments, oh man, this is a big one, right? Because the appointments that we book for you and the appointments that you have are the beginning of the opportunity. It is your responsibility to take the opportunity past the set appointment, right? We can't do that for you. We've taken it all the way that we possibly can with you. It is your responsibility to follow up on the appointments. If you're willing to track and report, we have to get your feedback on how many loans you're closing as a result of the program. How many appointments, how many showed up, how many actual move forward opportunities and deals are you getting from the appointments that we're booking for you? We need you to track and report back to us. And it's very simple because you just apply tags to contacts inside the CRM. And that's the follow-up. And then obviously we have a daily call that you can hop on and you can talk to the director of concierge every single day. So if you need help with anything, we've got a kind of like a private call just for everybody that's on the concierge appointment setting. And you can talk to Christina, the director of the appointment, at any given time. She's on that link for an hour a day, every single day. And then, like I mentioned before, you have to be willing to commit to 12 weeks. The reason why, mortgage business runs in 90-day cycles. And it's going to take about 90 days for you to see the real results of the appointments coming in for you. So who this is not for, if you don't want more referrals and you're good, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants different things in their mortgage business. But if you want to be busy every day, appointments are the way to do that. If you're not willing to work referral partners, this is not a good fit. If you're expecting just all of the funnels and calls all at once, just like pounded into your account, that's not this. We only run 2 of these workflows per month. Why? For our deliverable, but for your sanity. If we're booking appointments for you and like this one is this type of appointment and this one is this type of appointment and this one is this type of appointment, it's incredibly difficult to keep track of all that stuff. And what it does is it hurts your long-term follow-up with the people that we booked you with. So we like to keep it just past customer database and qualified referral agents. If you want more, that's fine, but that's a bespoke and we'll launch it like 1 month dedicated to that program so that we can get everything dialed in for you. So this is not you get everything all launched all at once. It's like we focus on one thing that generates results for you, and we just do that really, really well. One-on-one personal support, yes, you get that. And if you need fast results, probably not a good fit. The investment in the program is $3,000 every 4 weeks. But we are running a discount for the people that we get on the call that are a good fit for the program. So we're dropping the price to $2,000 every 4 weeks if you get on the call. And the way that the call works is you ask us a bunch of questions based off the webinar. We answer all your questions. Then we go through an actual like benefits analysis. Do we believe that we can generate results for you on the program and that you'll be happy in 90 days to 6 months? Can we actually generate a result? So is your database big enough? Are you willing to work with qualified referral partners? That sort of thing. We did basic qualification questions. If you decide that it's a good fit for you, you ask us to come into the program. So there's literally no high pressure sales pitch at all. We're not going to try and pitch you. It's like you have to ask all the questions that you have and then be like, yeah, I'd like to apply. I was like, okay, great. We got a couple of questions for you. Is that still a good fit? Would you like to be part of the program? You say yes. And then at that point, we decide that we're going to work together. And then we move forward at the $2,000 for every